Hello and welcome to the P2P Live. We are live here on LinkedIn, Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. Now, are your hiring strategies bringing in the best architects or pushing them to competitors? This week, we're joined by Maddy Laing, a senior recruitment consultant here at People UK, to dive into the challenges and strategies of hiring top talent in the London architectural market. We will explore what's working and what's not when it comes to recruitment, including key mistakes firms are making, the evolving expectations of today's architects, and what leading studios are doing differently to retain their teams. Also on today's show, how is the latest rise in job postings helping to ease some of the labour market gloom? We'll explore our latest job opportunities across the UK, and lastly, we'll reveal our social media insights on AI and design, where we ask if you think it's a threat or an opportunity. Now, London is one of the most competitive markets for architects and designers, with high-profile projects and a thriving creative scene. You'd think it'd be easy to hire top talent, but it's not that simple. So we're joined by Maddy, who's going to ask some key questions to find out more. Maddy, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, Hannah?
Yeah, good, thank you. Thanks for coming on.
My pleasure. It's been good to join you this last month when we've discussed all things design here in London. But yes, I'm going to ask you a few questions because you're obviously a specialist in this area. So I guess from your perspective, what are some of the main challenges firms are facing at the moment when it comes to attracting talent in the London architectural market?
It's a tough market right now. London's cost of living is high, and while architects are passionate about their work, they also need to feel financially secure. And a lot of firms are still relying on their reputation alone, thinking that the kind of prestige of working on high-profile projects or working for the name itself will be enough to attract that talent. But it's just not really cutting it anymore. Salary expectations have risen, and so have expectations around work-life balance and benefits. And architects want to be creatively challenged, of course. They want to work for the best projects, they want to work for the best names, but they also want to feel valued and supported.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's such a key thing as well, that support and value. It's definitely something that we've seen come up a lot throughout this year when we're kind of discussing this question. So I guess what are firms getting wrong when it comes to attracting talent?
So there are a few mistakes that I see kind of over and over again. Low salaries to start with. Like I said, London is expensive, and so is the UK, but specifically focusing on the London market. If you're offering a mid-level architect between 30 and 35,000, you're not going to hold on to them for very long. They'll get poached by another company or, leave for something else, maybe even freelance work. So that's something to think about. I think the lack of flexibility, remote and hybrid working are now the norm across the industries, and they have been since COVID. The world of work has changed. And architectural firms are some of them are lagging behind, some of them are excelling in forward-thinking initiatives. And the idea that architects must be in the studio every single day without reason is outdated. Now, project collaboration and work is so important, you need to be in the office for that. But I speak to people who go into the office and they sit at their desk all day and their colleagues have got their headphones on and they're just, stuck into technical work, which is fine. But to be forced into the office, into that environment, is that really fair? Is that something that should be asked of our architects? And expecting people to work late nights. In design, this is something that has been, prominent for years. People have been doing overtime, late night without recognition, and that's a real contributor to fast, kind of high turnover. And the creative industry tends to kind of romanticize this working through the night or working loads of extra hours mindset, especially before COVID. Since COVID, I think it's still there, but some companies have improved. But that kind of mindset is not sustainable. And benefits is another one. So, offering free coffee and gym discounts isn't enough anymore. People want benefits tailored to their lives, mental health support, professional development budgets. Parental leave is a huge one. We want to support not only men and women through that journey if it's something that they choose to do so, and more holiday entitlement as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think everything you said is so true. I know I've heard from so many people that reasons why they're leaving firms or why they're looking to leave is just because they felt, really overworked, underpaid and undervalued. So I think it's, definitely key things. And it is, we always say this, it's not just about money, but it's a respect and a balance of all of those things like you've listed as well. I think it's really key for staff to feel valued.
Yeah, exactly. And architects and creative professionals, you can't expect them to deliver this amazing work if they're exhausted and burnt out. It just doesn't compute.
Yeah, definitely. It's, you need to be fresh in the mind to be able to kind of deliver these projects. So I guess shifting gears a little, what is working? So with the firms that you're kind of working with and firms that you're speaking to, what have you seen has been a success for them with attracting really top talent, and what are they doing that you think is kind of a bit different or setting them apart?
It's pretty much an opposite checklist of what I've just mentioned.
Yeah.
So starting with competitive salaries, firms that are making, paying market rates or even slightly above are naturally going to attract better experienced talent, and even small raises continually can make a big difference to retention. Offering that hybrid working and remote options is definitely something that can attract really great talent and keep people there as well. Studios that trust their staff to kind of manage their own time and schedules really do have higher levels of creativity and job satisfaction. And architects want to know where their career is going as well. Firms that have kind of structured mentor programs and career development and opportunities, promotions, etc., are naturally going to have better retention. But some firms are getting creative with some really cool and quirky benefits. So offering profit sharing is something that's come into play, fairly recently for a lot more architectural practices. I'm not saying it's a new concept, but a lot of companies are adopting it. And project-based bonuses and even sabbaticals after a big project is completed. That was something that I spoke to someone the other day, and they've just done that, and it was really made a real big difference to them. And just investing in the studio culture in general, well designed. It sounds silly, but architects having a well designed, comfortable space to work in really does matter. And more than that, kind of fostering this environment of collaboration, supportive culture where people feel valued is really key.
So true. I mean, as we said, it's all about balance. Paying people well, you need to offer that great flexibility and just creating an environment where people do feel valued. They want to come and they want to enjoy, the space that they're working in.
Yeah, exactly. And if architects feel like they have room to grow and they aren't burning out, they'll stay.
Yeah, definitely. So I guess let's kind of wrap this up in terms of maybe let's look at a couple more practical advice. So if you could give one piece of advice to firm owners around trying to attract top talent, what would that be?
I think stop relying on reputation alone. And the majority of companies don't do this, but people pay people what they're worth, offer the flexible work options, invest in their growth. The studios that treat their staff like creative partners and not just employees are the ones that are thriving.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's so key. Treating them like partners and like an equal kind of part of the team. I think that's such a big thing. So what about retention? I guess what's keeping people once they have, been hired or been attracted to a business and joining that firm?
I think just listening to staff, and don't assume you know what they need. Ask them. Stay really up to date with salaries and what's going on in the market, because the biggest reason why people get a pay increase is because they move companies, and I think that's such a big shame. If companies are really staying ahead of the curve on what salaries are being paid, we've got our market report being released in a few weeks where we can share those insights. If you're keeping up to date with that and you're paying your staff fairly based in line with what is market rate, you're going to have a much better rate of retention and less likely for people to look elsewhere. And, whether it's things like mental health support, better project management, or simply just kind of more time off, responding to the feedback that people have asked for, it will go a really long way.
Yeah, definitely. Well, thank you so much, Hannah. Great advice. And thanks again for letting me join you today.
Thank you. So our hot jobs this week, we are looking for a furniture sales consultant. That's based in London, 28 to 37,000 plus commission. We're also looking for a midweight interior designer. This is luxury hospitality between 38 and 45,000. And we're still looking for 20 to 25 temps to join us. We've got lots of positions going very quickly each day. So if you're interested in temp work, please register with us and we can keep you updated with the quickest roles. So the total active job postings have risen to 1.52 million, which is a great sign. Is this helping to ease the labour market gloom that we've been seeing over the past few months? Is this a slow upgoing trend? We hope so. We'd love to know your thoughts on what you're experiencing in the market at the moment. Now let's head over to our poll of the week to have a look at what we asked you last week. So last week we asked you what part of the job interview makes you the most nervous. 64% said answering tough questions, 36% said talking about my experience. And I think we'll definitely maybe cover this in one of our lives going forward. Answering tough questions and how to answer those will be definitely something that we'd look at. We'd like to ask you next week, do you think AI is a threat or an or an opportunity for the design industry? Is it a threat or an opportunity? We'd love to hear your thoughts as ever. So thank you so much for joining us. We will see you same time next week.